Alright, check and see. Encoding overloaded. Why? It's not playing anything crazy. Okay, so it says that the stream is being screwy.
Fear is the first of many foes.
Ad break. Alright, so why is that? We are here in the middle of their pick bands as we were having some technical difficulties a few moments ago and had to reset the lobby a few times. So here behind it we can see the draft that they're currently working their way through. Doing it in client now to match the draft here in the drafting tool. So on the Pitt State side, they're running top down, Ornn, Nocturne, Hui, Aphelios, Taric. And then on the flip side, we've got Set, Jarvan, Orianna, Yunara, Nautilus. So it's looking like on one side we have a bit of a dive comp set up with a couple of heavy divers in the Nautilus and the Jarvan, with some diving support provided by the Orianna. On the Pitt State side, a little bit more difficult to figure out their game plan. We've got heavy protections with Taric and Nocturne, always a diver, but the rest of his team not super supportive of that, except for maybe Taric. So we'll have to wait and see what Pitt State is trying to get done with their current comp. And having just loaded in, or having just finished the drafting in client, we're going to take a quick break while we wait on the stream delay from the client so that there's no cheating or anything. It can't be. Client helps us out. Or maybe it will, because we're having issues with the client earlier. So we're going to look and see if it does the stream or the spectator delay. It says it is. So here's hoping. We will be with you again in a few minutes. Yep. So here's hoping. We will be with you again in a few minutes. Yep. So here's hoping. Alright, PC, you did not struggle this hard previously. Pull open the game, please. Alright, please. Thank you. Alright. Game 1, here we go. Encoding overloaded. Okay, so if the stream is screwing up, somebody please let me know. And let's remember that in this newer season, there's not as much time before minions spawn. So, Nocturne getting not caught out, but maybe spotted there in the 3v1. Pitt State, it did see that ward go down, got it pinged. So they saw that go down and they know Vision's there. A little bit of free poke. Set taking his early advantage on Ornn with that level 1. Having the easy right lefts. So a little back and forth. Mid lane, same thing. So as expected, everyone just sort of poking around. Pitt State a little bit trying to use that bush to force positioning on the other end, but it's a very minor thing, particularly at level 1. We're just getting the farm, getting the minions going. Set with the level lead, trying to take an early advantage by pressing with the lead that he has. Ornn respecting, of course, and just backing off because he doesn't have any offensive pressures early. Bot side looks like we're Pitt State looking for some deep wards, but based on the pinging was spotted out and is currently being followed around by the Nautilus, so not actually dropping any wards there, just going on a little adventure and letting their ADCs duke it out for a little bit. Meanwhile, Ornn is still pressed up into his tower, with Set playing very aggressive early. Looking like both junglers opting to go a top-down clear route. So both junglers starting on the top side and working their way bottom. Now in position where they could start looking for their first ganks, having finishing their clears now. We should be looking to see if the junglers are going to be looking for their first ganks or just looking to force the crab. First blood given away by Pitt State with that set. Once again, just going full aggro and 1-2 laying into the Ornn, who does get bulky, but this early in the game, maybe not so much. Alright, looking like Nocturne on the Pitt State side, opting to go for the crab as opposed to an early gank. Going hard in, catching too much of the turret, trades one away. Long shot from Aphelios lets him get one back, but it looking like they might still be caught out here. Yeah, Nautilus going to go ahead and take the cleanup and walk away before Nocturne can turn it back on him. So 2 for 1. Rectrix. Yeah, I never knew that's what that item was called. So for Yunara, spending about 1,000 gold to get attack damage and a little bit of move speed. Aphelios spending that same 1,000 or 1,100 or so, but he's investing in early boots for the attack speed and move speed. Ornn and Set still trading. Ornn looking to do a little bit more now that he's got abilities, but Tarek getting caught by that Nautilus is going to be real bad. Immediately cut down. Tarek early enough that he doesn't have any real resistances, just the cloth armor, so getting caught is still a death sentence as it is for most ADCs. Really have to watch for that Nautilus hook. Nocturne ganking top might get the cleanup here on Set. Ornn gets to flash his way out and pick up the kill. Excellent. Excellent teamwork by that Pitt State crew. Of course, immediately being turned around on them with the trading dragon the other way, so blue side really paying attention and picking up on these global positioning things, getting the macro down as a team. Saw Pitt State's jungler top and immediately going for the dragon. Looks like we may now be rotating to mid lane fight with both junglers hanging out, not really trying to stick around, but being there in case something goes wrong. Pitt State may be looking to turn back on the Set again, catching him out in the river with the missed Nocturne Q. It's not going to be able to chase as well, but in the 2v1, and a big shield from the Nocturne, not going to be enough to save his life, and Set seemingly gets to walk away with the river fruits. So Ornn now in trouble, having to run away in the 2v1 against him. Trying the dash, but clipping that wall is probably going to be a death sentence. And yeah, he goes ahead and gets executed. Trying to dash to get away and hitting the wall just was not it. Cut him short and cost him time. So whatever chance he may have had of getting out, not anymore. Really not what you're looking to see this early, especially from that Pitt State side. We're just about 7 minutes in, and we're down by 4 kills and a dragon. That is a cloud dragon, so it'll give extra movement speed and slow resistance out of combat. And it means that we will not be getting more wind drakes for the rest of the game. Looks like the next one is going to be an infernal. Pitt State maybe looking to make something happen mid. Nocturne knows he's not seen. He's got the sweeper. And being at levels 7 or 8-ish, we're going to start seeing ults coming through for everybody, because now everybody except for Lindo on the Tarek has got their ults on board. They've all hit 6, so... But Lindo, of course, being a little bit behind it, still down at level 4, having spent lots of time roaming and not necessarily getting the experience that they're looking for. So just hit level, still not 6. Everyone else has ults, but Pitt State need to be a little bit cautious because their Tarek doesn't have his ult yet. Double kill for that Yunara. As predicted, the J4 tagged him out while they had the level advantage. Nocturne and Ornn in the 2v2, getting caught out by that huge ult from Orianna, catching them both. Really just coming in and disrupting all the neutral taking, so not getting the grubs either. You're toggling the Fog of War, so got the one grub, but then getting the double kill. It looks like it's going to keep sliding in Blue's favor as J4 gets to come back after that fight and clean up the other two grubs. Uncontested, he gets them for free. So on the grub count, then that's 2-1. So not enough to start spawning extra minions, but not what you want to see if you're on that Pitt State side. But with grubs gone, though, both junglers should be looking towards bot side and towards rotating towards bot side, as that's the remaining neutral objective. And here we go with Hui and maybe Nocturne looking to close in. Pitt State is looking to try and make something here, but it looks like they were spotted out, and they don't get anything from it. A two-man roam, and they're not getting anything. That's going to be rough for them, especially being seen on the way back. So it looks like we're getting caught out here. Jarvan with the ult, Orianna with the ult, and Nocturne is executed. J4 flash because he wants this way. He doesn't quite get... Yes, he does. Alright, Nautilus finding Taric in the jungle, and even though it's his own jungle, he does still have that level deficit. He's got ult this time, though, so he gets fired off not in time to save his ADC. It is in time to keep him alive for now, at least. Nautilus with the flash to catch him, and that's another kill going away. Really, really unfortunate because, like I said, they were rotating down to get prepped for the dragon, and with Pitt State's bot lane killed again, it looks like that'll be a secondary free dragon going away. With the Orianna now back in lane, having just been shopping, getting her Luden's Echo, so completed full item on the Orianna. No kills yet, but making huge impacts with that ult to get 4 assists. So lots of power stacking there. Nocturne going top, but he is seen. He's probably just clearing the wards, yeah. Clearing the ward and then backing off it when he sees that Orianna is maybe rotating at him and he was going to be outnumbered. So Blue just really, really pressing in against Pitt State, being aggressive in all the lanes, letting mid hold, and Nocturne's diving bot side. He's way out in front. His team is not there to back him up, but he's so channeled on this Yunara. He's almost got it. Nautilus pulling him off. Doesn't quite finish, but now he's got the 3v1 on Nautilus, and there's nothing for him to do. So Pitt State getting one in return, but it is going to that Taric. So he gets that bounty. Not a huge one, but still something we would rather have going to the carries. But Hui now finishing his first item to match the Orianna with his Luden's Echo. Yara a little bit faster than the Tarek, so doesn't get caught by that stun. And Pitt State having to back out when Jarvan shows up. He's got the ult. We're taking 1 down, 2 down. And independently in the top lane, Ornn getting cut down again. They are taking no prisoners. Pitt State in really, really rough shape. This is not how they wanted to start their series. So 15 minutes in, down by 14 kills, about 8,000 gold. If you were in a solo queue game, this is where you would start firing that forfeit, or at least many people in my solo queue games would. I don't speak for everybody, but 15 minutes, it's available, and with this kind of a deficit, when you're not playing with your full team, that's something that's not even mountable. You just gotta call it and go next. And we're just, looks like it's gonna keep stacking all of these objectives against Pitt State with Set and Jarvan picking up the Herald up top. It's another neutral objective falling, and that will probably be turned into a tower. With the mid lane this close to being done, it looks like they're gonna drop it mid lane and try to force that tower before Shelly charges. That way, it doesn't lose any health and can ride full power into this tier 2 or tier 1 rather. So not getting that as the tower, but huge damage, stealing the gold from the plates and queuing up a team fight. Pitt State trying to make something happen by collapsing mid, unable to finish that J4 as he flashes over the wall. Have used the Taric ult though, one of the big important things. If they can make a pick, I think Pitt State wants to make a fight with Aphelios on red and white guns. As the saying goes, red and white, it's time to fight. Pitt State needing to make something happen here, so it looks like they're gonna multi-man on this set. 3-man hunting, they're desperate, they want something. And Set does get one before going out. Seeing Pitt State committing everything, knowing he was going to go down, he just turns and trades evenly with it. And then similarly, following that team-wide macro, seeing Pitt State commit that many people to the top lane leaves them wide open to have their blue stolen out from under them by the Yunara Nautilus bot lane. With Orianna going bot lane to get the turret, that is now all 3 outer turrets taken on the Pitt State side. Pitt State, on the other hand, so far, no turrets in their favor. They've got about half the plates, but Hui getting caught out. Orianna ult to pull him in. Not sure if it's necessary, but they're spreading the love. 3-man, Nautilus going in. Pitt State getting caught out in their own jungle. 4-on-2. Nocturne's down. Taric running for his life. He doesn't make it out. Taric's down. That's 3 for free. And I'm not sure there's much more that Pitt State can do about it. Normally you would suggest to fight this with a little bit of information wars to get the vision down and see where everybody is, but just now doing that as a group going to set vision for protection and getting caught out in their own jungle, I'm not sure what else they have here. But Blue not taking any chances, not gonna try to not be overconfident and just crush down the lanes. They're gonna keep stacking the neutral objectives, adding a Hextech Dragon to their list, setting them up now for the Hextech Soul in just a few minutes. Jarvan again over the wall, nothing for Hui to do about it. Does require his ult to get him on the dive, but he just tags him out and walks away. Really, really unfortunate. Not what you're hoping to see if you're on this Pitt State Red side. And Set seeing them, letting him know that he sees them. A little bit of BM there with the stopping in the jungle, but looks like he is going to contest his red. Pitt State knows he's there. They've got 3 men on. They're not going to let him contest it. They're just going to take it and see if they can get anything out of it. Blast Cone just runs away. Blast Cone's out. He's good. No wonder I didn't. It's like that's on me. Thought I had enabled the sound earlier. I always forget that the client and in-game are different settings. So, having enabled sound in client earlier, but not in-game. That is my bad and explains why I wasn't hearing anything, and then presumably why you weren't hearing anything. So, now it's not just me that you can hear, and you can hopefully hear all of the league things I've been talking about. Set getting both on the pole, a huge haymaker, keeping him alive and trading 1. So Set trading evenly, but again, he's doing that in the 4v1, so he's pulling so much pressure. J4 coming in on the backside, and the Tarkle does connect, but not with both, so Nocturne's still left vulnerable out the back, and he gets cut down by the Yunara. Jarvan to hold everybody, and they're going to keep murdering. Yunara melting them, J4 and Nautilus holding them still. They're looking to break open the base. They keep hunting. Hui gets out. They're going to let him run to his fountain, but cracking open Pitt State's base while they have yet to take any turrets. Absolutely dominating performance. Nocturne diving. He's on J4. He's by himself. Alright, Set picking another one, just solo running on the Aphelios. He's not afraid. He knows as long as he trades even, he's alright, and he certainly knows that he's going to be doing that. They're hunting back out of their base. Pitt State looking to get some from their base, looking to capitalize on their opponent's overconfidence. Tark with the stun, Ornn with the ult. So they get a couple in return, but is it too little too late? With the Baron up currently, and as much pressure as they want, Blue very much still in control of this game. Nocturne in his own jungle, he sees the ward go down, he knows that he's got company. Tark tries to save him and keeps him alive for now, but gives his life in exchange. Nautilus grabbing another one. Nocturne going in on the dive to try and save him. Hui's not dead yet. He doesn't quite make it, but they are trading 1 for 1. J4 going in. Nautilus has caught him anyways. Nocturne with the flash out, and he's safe. But Pitt State really in trouble here, just getting their base sieged. Just regular minions for now, but with such a power discrepancy, it might not matter. Alright, seeing they were just sieging with their regular minions and looking to close out this game. Taking their choice of either neutral objective with Baron and Dragon up, and it being Soul Point. It looks like they can back and fight or force whatever. In this case, what's being forced is a pick on Tark. Doesn't quite get him. His team shows up to be caught by the Orianna ball. And Aphelios is out. Ornn getting ulted out of position. He's going to get murdered. Gets his ult down. Doesn't matter. Tagged out. That's 2 for free. and they're on the hunt. They don't even need this dragon. They're looking to hunt and they're looking to close. Tarek makes 3. Alright, Nocturne seeing his opportunity, knowing that they're taking the dragon and he can't contest, looking to make a pick on the Orianna, and he gets her. But with this dragon going down, that is going to be the Hextech Soul Point. Really not what you want to see. Not quite a perfect game, as Pitt State was able to get one of the Void Grubs, but so far just stacking everything against them. Running him down, looking to hunt the Tark again. He's got the slow. They're just going to let it go. Backing off. Playing a very comfortable, very safe game. Not trying to force anything, not trying to be overconfident of their dominance so far. They're just going to play it safe, back up, get some more vision, and set for Baron so they can take it at their leisure. J4 with the dive, catching Hui on the backside. Nautilus with the grab. Ornn to the ult, hitting 3. And the Orianna's down, still hunting further down the Yunara. Tarek's down on the other side. It's a 2-for-1 for Pitt State so far. Nas gets another one, 2-for-2, 3-for-3. Set tags one more. Or leaving the top laner and the jungler up, and with Flash he gets one more, and that is an ace. That is maybe also game. No need for the Baron with an ace, and Super's in the base. They're just going to ignore that mid lane turret. They're looking to end. That's going to be game 1. J4 and Set in on the Nexus. The inhibitor respawn, maybe saving Pitt State, buying a little bit of time, but I don't know. Tarek is respawned, so they have some defense, but lands the stun. It's still a 2v1 at a tower. No more turrets left. I don't know that Tarek can turn this. They're TPing in. There is a desperate fight. Pitt looking for a final defense. They're all respawning. 3v3, 3v4, focusing on the set. It's not going to be enough. That is game 1. Make sure we're in here as a spectator. Then we will have a brief intermission while we reset for game 2 and the players get a little break. Let's pull open the draft tool to prep it for game 2. I will be the spectator. That way we're ready for game 2 whenever our teams come back. And as a reminder, this is the I forget what the type of draft is called, but the champions used in that first game are out of the champion pool and not available for use in future games in the series. Fearless Draft. That's what it's called. So. What are they doing? Okay. It looks like letting the teams get themselves sorted. It seems we are switching sides for game 2. Means each team wanted to be red side when given the opportunity to pick. Seeing this stack up, it seems as though we may be having the same sort of technical difficulties we were having previously. So it might end up being okay. It would appear that they've made a separate drafting tool? Question mark? No, it's the same one. They just reposted it in the team Discord. They just reposted it to make sure everybody's got it. Okay, same set. We're waiting. We're good. We're good. All right. Seems Pitt is ready to do the draft. And it seems like we're going to wait a little bit because each team is entitled to X amount of wait time, even if you're not being polite. I forget exactly how much it is. I believe it's 15 minutes from game time before sanctions. And that's, assuming that people have an issue. Generally, sportsmanship wins out. So if they say, hey, can we have a bit? The answer is, yeah, we can have a bit. Usually take a few minutes, 5 or 10 between games to get a drink, use the bathroom, that sort of thing. Recoup and talk strategy for the next one. EWS maybe not looking to change anything too much with how strong of a performance that game 1 was. All right. They ready? Let's rock and roll. All right, going into the draft for game 2. So as a reminder, you can't use any of these 10 champions that were used in game 1, and it looks like Pitt State still respecting that top laner, not wanting the Mbessa. UWS with the Swain band, so we're matching our first bands out the gates. Everybody keeping it the same. Looks like so far both sides confident in their bands, adding Silas into the mix for this game 2. Checking back to game 1. Yes, those are their bands in order. Mbesa, Silas. On the flip side, we had Swain. Yep, so PSU keeping the same 3 bands. UWS switching it up a little bit, starting even with the Swain. But then rather than moving to Shin on the top lane, they're taking out the Leona from the support role. And taking out the the Yasuo. They apparently do not want any sort of mid lane womboing. So what are we going to see for first picks? Being on blue side, it's a blind pick. Pitt State not generally choosing blue side if they can avoid it. And they're inputting Zach. All right. Strong jungle pick. Played in practice earlier today. Zach still likes to pretend that he's a flex pick, but I haven't seen him outside of the jungle this season. So I'm going to say with some confidence, whether warranted or not, that is a jungle Zach. On the other side, we're getting Milio, the support. Freelo support in solo duos, but not so much, or not necessarily in team comps. He's very, very strong, but and they're going to pair it with Akali, so they're taking that mid, flashing the Aurora before going to it. So Pitt State now maybe looking to cheese and take the Aurora in return. Not really clear, but EWS with their support and mid laner locked in. Pitt State looking at Seraphine. Shrink me even more because I'm not the highlight and I thought I had myself out of the way. So Pitt State looking to have a big poking bot lane, adding Caitlyn to the Seraphine, so they've got strong poke range. Let's see how UWS will respond. With Ezreal looking to play at a shorter range, but with that higher mobility to where he can flicker in and out. So going back to bans with the bot lane locked in for both teams, we'll probably not be seeing any more marksman or support bans. On the Pitt State side, they're probably looking at jungle and top lane bans, as that's who they would believe is left to pick on the other side. And then on the flip side, we see through the Ahri ban that they're looking to tag out mid laners from Pitt State. Pitt State with the Galio ban and an immediate Vex ban by UWS. So, really, really looking to just focus those mid lane bans as they've picked their mid laner. They just want to collapse his pool and force the game from there. Last couple of picks. We're looking for a mid laner and a top lane, or a top laner and a jungler. They're going for Aatrox, the Darkened Blade. With that high regeneration, melee, all-in sort of top lane style. The diving assassin Akali, the rapid movement Ezreal. It looks like we are looking to. They're looking for hyper aggression again. It worked last time. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as the saying goes. Pitt State picking up a Yone. So, large poke bot lane. Oh, Camera, don't be like that. The Yasuo band going for his brother, taking the Yone. And for their last pick to round it out, top lane against the Aatrox, we're going to play Mordekaiser. And UWS with that red side advantage, getting the last pick, keeping it available for counter pick. It looks like they need to lock in their jungler yet, and they're going to go jungling with Volibear, maybe? Alright. Into the client to get this game rolling. Still spectator. Alright. Then we'll be seeing here in client a match of what we just watched in this draft. It won't necessarily be in the same order, because rather than picking for draft, they're just going to pick their champions, but the bans will all be in the same order.
The Medardas do not forgive or forget.
So we'll spend a couple of minutes doing this, and then the 3-minute stream delay.
I must not fall.
And the reason that we do the draft in the drafting tool out here is because not all players own all champions, and so they can pick their champions in any order rather than be limited based on their own personal champion pools. And so that's why we do the draft twice. We do it once in the draft tool where all champions are unlocked for everybody to do the draft, and then it happens again in client because that's part of the tournament drafting client, is that will run, but that's the formality since it's already been done outside. Doing it outside like this also makes it easier to report to the tournament organizers and stuff, because then it's all in one place with game 1, game 2, hopefully game 3.
You don't have to be afraid of me.
And then it can just all be reported at once. Is this still working? Do I hear it? With game 1, game 2. Yep. Alright. So, we are caught up on draft, and I will see you guys again in 3 minutes, or 4 minutes. That way we can get through the stream delay time, and then we'll get you into game two.
Summoner's Rift. Minions have spawned.
So, stepping forward to try and see who they can see. Based on the pings, Pitt State getting seen doing that. And Pitt State, yes, getting the vision they were looking for. Or at least the sights they were looking for. Well, let this do its directed camera thing. Being cheeky for that level 1 in the front bush, and it's gonna work. Oh, it might really work. Got the flash ignite. Oh, my lord. It worked on him. First blood. That was something. That is really, really unfortunate. And being that level 1, that's going to cost even more because it costs that full first wave or 2 even of minions. So Mordekaiser are going to get back to lane very, very far behind.
Expected.
So. Volibear having to be a little bit more respectful now that all the abilities are up and he can... Mordekaiser can get his shields, but not really. Apparently Mordekaiser thinking like I did that Volibear would have to be more respectful, and I should watch my mouth. No respect here. 2-0 for the Volibear. Just gonna run him down. That's... I said that we would be looking at a hyper-aggressive game, not just early, but Volibear is not where I expected it to manifest the most. So now he gets to support his Aatrox coming down the line for the crab, as Mordekaiser can't make it back to lane quite yet, so that's a free top crab to... A free top crab given away as well. And then continuing the hyper aggression, the bot side got the flash forward, but he misses his Q, so he doesn't get the kill and gets himself killed by the turret instead. Caitlyn's still barely walking away with her life, having now healed up to 80. Not how they'd want to do it, but they will take the success. Bot lane just going to reset everybody who's out there while Ezreal comes running back to lane and gets his free farm slash freeze. That is where he wants it, so he's looking to freeze, looking to last hit only as much as possible. He's trying to not push it out. He wants to hold his minions right here in the safe zone so that to be fought, you have to fight on their side and risk more danger for that PSU team coming out to get the same golden experience. Volibear looking to do it again. Not quite, but he is looking to use his level advantage where he's at 6 and has ult over the Mordekaiser to put pressure at this tower and push Mordekaiser out from getting the rest of his experience, keeping him further away from the minions. Pitt State taking advantage, though, and getting the first dragon of the game, learning a little bit from last time and deciding they need to get earlier vision and more control on those objectives. Taking the first one for the Hex Tech. Aatrox getting seen on that control ward in the river so that he doesn't, or so mid is aware and backing up a little bit. And they're taking them to the Shadow Realm. Volibear still going full aggro. He doesn't care that he's in the Shadow Realm, maybe. With the heal on that bite. Oh, this is going to be close with the flash. And he makes it 3-0 against our Mordekaiser. Yeah, Mordekaiser burning everything for that. Volibear also burning everything, getting the flash and the ignite on both sides. But turning out again in Volibear's favor, so Mordekaiser are just going to have to really, really respect it and almost never fight the Volibear if he can avoid it. If he's still getting results like that. And then he goes shopping to see what he can do. He's got full boots. Full boots and most of his first item, and we're at 7 minutes. Heard the Zac queuing up the slingshot. Unclear whether they know he's here. Let's toggle the Fog of War. Yeah, so they wouldn't have known he was there, but... or wouldn't have seen him there, rather. Aatrox taking the grubs, backed up by that Volibear, and so with Volibear there, there's little to nothing Mordekaiser can do about it. Colleague getting the kill mid lane and starting to stack this against Pitt State again. Bot lane's resetting. Looking to punish the Aatrox for taking the grubs. He doesn't care, he's just looking to fight. So with that full set of grubs, they are now able to start getting the Void spawn whenever they attack turrets. It's the little purple mites that help them on their turret fighting. So really, really not where you want to be for Pitt State 10 minutes in. Volibear with the ult, shutting down the tower. Zac trying to save with the knock-up. Not going to be enough, it seems. He will make it a 1-for-1 trade, so that is in Pitt State's favor with that shutdown, but... Volibear now getting to take freer or easier dives with his ult, turning off towers temporarily. Right there we can see the little void mite pop up. Get caught out in the river. Oh, there he is. Walking in blind, and he gets to walk back out. Pitt State didn't quite have the 2 ready for him, just the 1. So Aatrox can just walk away. Volibear finishing his quest and unlocking the teleport. Now it's easier for him to turn the menace that he was top lane into the menace that he wants to be everywhere. Especially with people starting to complete their first items while he's sitting on first item plus boots. 80% of the team's kills, he can start looking to share the love. Zachbot's side, not quite getting them slapped together, but with the flash he gets the bounce on Milio, so they make it happen anyways, still getting the 1. Going to Seraphine, unfortunately not as bad as it could be with a bunch of other supports, but they've got 2 more coming down to collapse, and they do see them, but we're starting to teleport in. Yone teleporting in. So we've got the 4v3 to make it even, and it looks like they're just going to back away. EWS just going to back away from that one once the Yone commits his teleport. Unfortunate that we're streaming, so gets all those moments caught on camera, those things where you just mess up just a little bit and you go, nobody saw that. Unfortunately, we are streaming, so we did see him miss the bush there with that ward. But so this time, keeping it to a much closer game. Still hemorrhaging a few kills, but they're all on the one side up here with this Volibear. So as a team, keeping it much, much tighter than that first game. Vast improvements on this Pitt State side. It seems like they were able to correctly ID what it is that was going wrong and adjust. This time, 15 minutes in and being down by just about 1,000. That's about a 10,000 gold difference from where we were last time. Yone having to commit the ult to avoid the Aatrox, going back, or the flash to avoid the Aatrox, going back in with his ult because he's backed by his Zac, and they get the double knock-up. Doesn't quite finish the Akali with the smite. No, he doesn't. Yone going out because he's fearing for the Aatrox. Avoids the True Shot Barrage and gets cut down anyways. Now Zac by himself in the 2v1. And cut down into his Bloblet, so it doesn't matter that Akali's so low, because the Bloblets can't attack, so she gets to come in and help with the finalizing and gets the kill. Volibear finishing that turret topside, gives first turret away, and now opens up his part of the map to start roaming and joining the rest of his team. These next couple minutes are going to be when we really see for Pitt State whether things are still okay or if they're going to start falling apart, with Volibear now free to wander around more and help take the Herald to stack on top of the Grubs. in the jungle in the 2v2, 3v2, getting 2 out of 3 with that ult, looking really good. Zac with the knockup, but they're still outnumbered because Caitlyn's not with them yet. Losing vision as that's what they were there for, and the Herald coming in big topside, getting all those plates, and maybe more if they don't address it. So he gets 4 of those 5 plates with the Herald. That's just big money getting pocketed by this Volibear. Back in to go shopping, and he's completed item number 2 with that Dusk and Dawn. Volibear with the big ult. It does still shut down the turret. The flat, and they don't quite get it clean, but manages between his ult and the tower to make it happen. Zac bouncing for his life. Seraphine getting caught trying to save him, and it turns into a 4v2, and she gets cut down. Does get Zac out for now, but they're still looking to fight. He's got the Aatrox slamming him to the Krugs, looking for the bounce. They've got one. Caitlyn having to flash away from the Akali because assassins don't go along well with ADCs, so Akali gets to just run away. Zac with the big slingshot, catching the Milio this time. Gets the punch on Ezreal, so he's got them both. Caitlyn opens up, and they get one. Akali still on the line. She's firing back. The Ignite takes Caitlyn out with the Ezreal. Akali's down, trading 3 for 1 on the Pitt State side, and Zac's still hunting. He wants more. He's bouncing. Ezreal with the flash, and he's got him. Doesn't even need the Volibear teleporting in, but Volibear teleporting in, get to run down this Yone, and so strong out the gates with that lightning, almost putting the Yone away, just running him down. Might have if he'd gotten lightning bounces, but just gets to go wailing on that turret. Got strong attack speed from the Nashers, up in it more from the Dusk and Dawn, applying the on-hit damage. That Volibear is a menace. 2 levels up on his laner, giving him 3 or more levels on most of the rest of the players in this game. So, decidedly in Red's favor, but again, much closer than that game 1, especially with Pitt State stacking some of the neutral objectives. They have both dragons so far. Two v 1 and trading in his favor. Volibear still a strong showing in this mid game. But Pitt State looking to get a tower, pushing mid. They might be forcing it. Alright, first tower for Pitt State. First tower of the series even, since they were unable to get one in that first game. And we're queuing up for dragon number 3, having just spawned. Red side there to take it. They are clearing out everything. Mordekaiser thinks he's looking for a pick, but he's getting stuck, using his ult defensively to get away from the Aatrox and Akali. It's not going to save him, but it might buy him some time while his team gets there. buys him time, and it does let him get out, but they can't contest this dragon. Being pushed off entirely by the full team there. So letting Volibear pick up red side's first dragon. So Pitt State not going to be able to get the sweep here. And it looks like they're going to start getting caught out in their own jungle with the invasion on their blue side. They're going to get it and everybody walks away, but...
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Contesting in their own jungle. They've slowly been moved throughout this game, been moving their vision up. Now we can see it extending out into Pitt State's jungle as they get the confidence to go. They're trading even, but Pitt State committing hard to this with teleporting in, getting the only hitting one. That's not what you want to see. It does make the pick, so still working. Now Pitt State looking to keep hunting using the numbers advantage. Mordekaiser got him locked in the Shadow Realm, making it the 1v1, buying his team time, and he gets one for free. So now they've got the numbers game, 3-on-1 on this Akali. Akali with the flash doesn't get it lined up to block the Caitlyn ult, though. Still dies. Aatrox flashing to try and make it happen, doesn't get it, and he gets himself took down too. Pitt State with the turnaround, knowing where their carries are big plays from the Caitlyn. What is red pinging up in here? Vision, I guess. Red knows something's up in here, but... Pitt State getting the push. Volibear coming out strong, knowing he's strong, running straight into the 1v3. He knows he's got backup. 2v3, but Zach of the Wall makes it a 2v4. He's bouncing, gets the slam on both. Yone almost dead, dies on the rebound. Now Seraphine with the slow, not going to get him out, and Zac is running. Volibear with the chase down. He's got the smite for the slow. Zac will walk away. But having tagged out 2, they can now look to turn on Baron and force it with a numbers game. Zac knows that he's trying to get something out there, some vision or go that way, but he's just going to get poked down for his troubles. And Volibear with the engage there, catches him on the flash anyways. That's one more down, and with the jungler down, they know there's no contest. They're turning immediately to Baron. They're just going to start melting it down fast. They know that Pitt State knows they're there, but that they can't see them because of this control ward here. So they can see them now that they're there, but they're melting it down so fast, and it's already gone. Pitt State got to be very, very careful here with the 2v5. Volibear running the Caitlyn down, doing everything she can to kite. Got the nets, the flash, and does get far enough to get that kill. So that's one less Baron empowered. And they do catch the Akali under tower. The Shuriken flipped back so that she doesn't get caught the second time. She's not dead, but Pitt State forcing it by holding the minions out here. They're looking for the dive, and they've got her. Alright, so they've cleared the Baron buff from 2 out of the 5 members. And they're looking to reset. So, can't quite force tower number 2, but Zac just gonna slingshot jump away. while we're contesting mid, and Dragon, Volibear just tearing up the base. But on this Dragon contest, Zach jumping in too early, not in a place to smite, so he has to jump out, and he's got 4 men on, so we're going to lose Dragon number 2. Took the time to contest the Dragon and couldn't make it, so Volibear gets to open up the base and get the inhib. True Shot Barrage coming in, just whiffs, but in this 2v1 on the Volibear, we're not making any progress. He gets the stun, and he's going for it. Gets the ult, he's hunting. 1v4, and he doesn't quite get anybody, but playing against the whole Pitt State team 1v5 there, and he almost managed to sneak one down with him. Looking to close out, or at least use the rest of their Baron buff to force open base. So, using the Volibear ult to run, it would have turned off the turret, but he just wants the distance. Trying to get out, not going to be enough. Zach with the flash to catch him, but Aatrox is here now, and he's swinging that sword around. Got the Caitlyn, that's most of Pitt State's damage, and they've got the second with the Seraphine tagged out now. 4 on 2, and it's not what they're looking for. Mordekaiser pulling him into the tower. Getting the Zac split, but he's still got his revive, and so far back, he's probably going to be safe. The Zac with another pull, really trying to utilize this tower, or Zac. Mordekaiser with the pull. The Baron buff having fallen off, they can no longer siege as well. Zac catching the Aatrox with the jump, not going to be doing anything with it. And they're back to sieging, because even without the Baron minions, they've got a numbers game. Mordekaiser going down to the Ezreal. Ezreal's still fighting because he's behind the tower. He's not taking the aggro. Akali gets it and she gets the assassination anyways. Tower goes down before it can kill her. What do you mean click to... This should be live. Why is it not live? I've been watching it live. Oh. Yeah, so red with the options right now. Pitt State having to turtle down in or near their base and get the minions forced back out. They know that the neutrals are up and they just can't do anything about it. So UWS taking this opportunity for their third Drake. They're stacking the dragons against Pitt State, and since they got into the dragons late, they are all those mountain drakes. So that's just going to be more and more resistances, armor and magic resist. Really, really helping out greedy, aggressive builds like what we've been seeing on this team and from this comp. So really, really beneficial to them, and they get to turn for the other neutral, knowing that Pitt State is still just getting out of their base. Most of the teams here, but their jungler's nowhere to be seen. He's still getting back, so there's no smite to contest. They're looking to rush it or maybe fight. They need to decide one way or the other. They are turning and fighting. They're still looking to finish it. 1,900, no smite. Where's the smite? Okay, so Volibear gets it, goes to red side. And they're trading kills. Volibear's running through. He's got some kills. Caitlyn way out on the outside. No, she wants no part of this. Gets cut down by the Ezreal anyways, and that's going to be game. Only one member of Pitt State standing, and 3 from the now Baron empowered open base. This is not going to go well. This might be an end. They're looking to close. The inhibs have respawned, so they have to get an inhib on their way through. But there's the first one. And right here, Volibear forcing a kill. Not quite the kill, but forcing Yone away from that second inhib. They're going to keep running in with multiple Baron empowered waves. That's going to be game 2, and therefore the series. Holding it tighter on the second game, but in the end, on the later end, still just falling apart. That is unfortunate, and that's going to be the full series against. So that is going to be that's going to be it for today with that second game lost, meaning the full set is down. With the new semester / season of all of our sports going on, we don't yet have figured out our streaming schedule, so I can't tell you when later this week to join us again to catch our other teams. But for the League of Legends team, you can catch them again same time next week. That'll be on the 2nd. Yeah, the 2nd. Next Monday, same time, 6 o'clock. We'll get you for our league match then.